Hello, beautiful people. How are you? Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sarah Davis. I am the CEO and founder of Ascending Lifestyle. So if you are interested in any personal readings, any body butter, any lip care kits, any facial scrubs, some dried flowers, dried herbs, you can find it all at ascendinglifestyle.com, which is in the description box below. Or you can just type it in the search bar yourself. All right, you guys, so before we get into the cards, I do just want to talk about a vision that I had before coming on here, and it was the simplest thing, but it has meaning, a lot of meaning behind it. So I just had a vision of a campfire burning very brightly while it was raining, right? So I think that this is very significant at this point in the collective energy, because I do believe that and we've talked about how for the past couple of months, the collective has been in this stage of releasing old mindsets, old paradigm shifts, old people, old situations, old things, right? This could be career, the way that we look at ourselves, people who are falling away that are no longer in the space of being able to ascend with us, or basically just some of us are breaking certain karmic cycles that may have been trickling and repeating themselves, not just in our current lifetime, but in ancestral lifetimes as well. So we found ourselves in this space of breaking away, and we've been being told to basically disconnect from mass consciousness and really come back into the self to be in a space of being able to integrate the new way of existing that we are trying to manifest at this time, right? So that's a lot of water energy, because when you're reintegrating, when you're releasing, when you're relearning and all of the things, it's a water that's being released. It's like we talked about, water can take on, as different frequencies pass through water will take the shape of that frequency. So the water energy is the releasing energy. And now we're coming in, I really feel like we're coming into a space where last week we were pulling fire energy, we're pulling that passion energy, we're pulling that that get things done type energy, which is integrating the two, which is marrying your fire and your water, and not having the water be so heavy. It's not raining so much that the fire is being doused out. But it's not so hot that the whole entire fucking place is burning down, right? The two are, excuse me, I'm sorry, I just got done having breakfast. The two are coexisting in balance, which is really important. So we're at this pinnacle point right now where we're starting to integrate. And it's really coming at a perfect time, because we're coming to the end of February at this point in time. And spring equinox is about a month out. So for those of us who are in tune and in line with the ecosystem, the spring equinox is actually the beginning of the year for us and everybody else as well. It's just whether you are at the space of being able to honor that and integrate within it. But where's I going with that? Sorry. Yeah, so we're at the space where the fire energy is starting to come up again. The fire energy is starting to be like, okay, we've had time to release. There may be some extra things that we need to release, but now it's time to start integrating. Now it's time to start being like, who is my higher self in God giving me a vision of who I can be? I hope that made sense. Right? What is the vision of that higher self that I am trying to encompass right now? And what do I have to do to be able to encompass that person? What can I do right now to be able to take the steps on manifesting that person, right? So I think that's really important for the collective to be proud of themselves with, right? Because that's finding the balance between fire and water is extremely important, right? It's extremely difficult at times, and we're coming into a space to where we're able to do that. And I'm really excited about it. It also means that the seasons are shifting, which if you're like me and you're in an area where the winter it's very cold and it seems like it lasts forever, and you tend to get the winter blues and depression like I do. Seeing light at the end of the tunnel can be pretty motivating, so to say the least. So let's go ahead, and I just wanted to give that real quick as some words of encouragement, as maybe a little bit of understanding of how your energy is shifting at this time, and how yeah, the spring equinox is upon us. I'm super happy about it. Okay, let's go ahead and pray. So Mother God, Father God, Heavenly Spirit, I thank you for this time, place, space, moment. I thank you for the lessons received and the lessons yet to come. I pray that at this time I am able to connect with the collective. I pray that the ancestors, ascended masters, archangels are able to guide me at this time. I pray that my energy is protected, and I pray that any messages I receive are for the collective's highest good, abundance, sustenance, prosperity, creativity, and legacy building at this time. We thank you for the love, the guidance, the protection. In Yeshua name, amen. Okay. So what is something that the collective needs to be aware of for? I want to say this coming week or whatever energy they find themselves in. What does the collective need to be aware of at this time? I got 2 cards out. Okay, this is funny because we got this last week too. There's still a call, collective, for you to come back to the mat. There's still a call for you to pay attention to your intuition and have faith in the way in which you're being guided right now, right? I don't know why I'm really drawn to the sky right now, the stars. I just keep on thinking like a wish upon a star, right? And the vastness of the sky in which we see, the vastness of the universe, should really put into your head that whatever limiting beliefs or whatever it is that you think may block you from achieving what it is that you want to achieve, all you have to do is work through that. That block will be lifted if you have faith in what it is that you're pursuing. If you're in true alignment, if you're really going to the mat, asking for the guidance and paying attention and doing the things in which you're led to do, the sky's the limit. You can wish upon a star and have faith that wish will be fulfilled, and it will come true, right? I'm really getting like the ancestors want you to know that they are there. They're listening, they're watching, they're paying attention. And for those of you who are doing the work to break these karmic cycles, or who are doing the work to, well, the next card is upskill, right? This talks about work and career and stuff. Those of you who are doing the work to expand your knowledge, not just expand your knowledge, but being able to teach so that you make room for more. The ancestors are really paying attention to that, and they're very thankful for that, right? Because you yourself one day will be an ancestor, right? A lot of us don't actually take time to think about this, how we talk about the ancestors in present moment. In the future, we will one day in turn be an ancestor, and the lessons and the skills that we learn in this lifetime, we may be able to give to the generations coming up after us, to the collective that comes after us. We may be able to give those skills to in turn, in the same way that the ancestors are able to provide us with skills and knowledge and guide us, right? So the more that we're able to learn, teach, the more situations and positive situations that we willingly put ourselves in, the more that we have faith over fear, the more that we ground ourselves. And I just heard the way that we're able to ground ourselves while still being able to stay in flow those teachings, those ways of existing, those lifestyles that we are creating for ourselves, we will be able to either directly instill that into the generations, through children, if you have children and stuff, or even if you choose to not have children, being an ancestor, you will be able to instill that with whoever it is that you're called to instill it in during that experience, right? Okay, so this it's really funny because there's a tree here too. I just keep on staring at the tree, and then like the ancestors are so present. There's something that's really shifting in the collective, and they're really, really helping you to gain the wisdom, gain the knowledge, have the ability to individually speak your truth in front of people who may be watching you with confidence, right? I love it that this child is standing next to the tree that's full of wisdom, while this teacher is sitting in a chair, sort of I don't know, I just get this like there's wisdom at the front and wisdom at the back. Right? Wisdom in the front, wisdom in the back. And the child is in the middle. I don't know, I'm feeling like this encompassing energy that's happening within individuals within the collective. Like you can feel the ancestors just guarding you and guiding you and having faith that they have your back, right? They're here with you and for you. So the word crossroads is also on the upskill card, and messages is on the tune in and connect. So I'm really, maybe some of you in the collective at this time are feeling like, I just heard 1 foot in, 1 foot out type of energy. So if you've been going through this initiation process, we talked, I don't even know if it was last week, I think it was Friday, but we spoke on this, right? How there can be a chaotic type of energy, and it's making you feel like you may be out of alignment, but the ancestors are really emphasizing that if you just ask, you will be guided, you'll be given the answer, right? Even if you go into meditation and you just ask for yourself. I'm sure that some of you who watch me have used different tools, right? Like you may have your own cards. There may be different ways. Maybe you use runes. I don't know. There may be different ways that you yourself connect with the ancestors, and all you have to do is ask, and they'll give you the answer. So through the cards, through your runes, or through meditation, through vision, right? Through synchronicities, right? Maybe there's certain types of videos or certain types of music or a word that you see frequently. This doesn't have anything to do with numbers. This has to do with a visual, which numbers can be seen visually. So, but this is really like a name. It's a word. It's something that you've heard multiple times in the past few weeks, and you've never heard it before. Like this should spark your curiosity, and this should really, there's something in that for you, collective. So if this is happening currently in your state, like pay attention to that and dive into that. Allow yourself to be curious. We got Lolo, stand in the light. This card speaks about how there's a certain type of butterfly that lives in the Andes Mountains at a very high altitude. And this particular butterfly adapted and transformed itself so that it could exist within those altitudes in that specific region. So this card really talks about you adapting to what it is that's coming in, you adapting to achieve that higher self, that higher version of yourself, and understanding that as you do that, things have to fall away. This is supposed to be a comfort card too, right? Like, look at how beautiful this butterfly is. And it's on top of the mountains, which it's not supposed to be, right? Like butterfly, like, I feel like that was a thought process. Butterflies are not supposed to exist in this high of altitude. Why are they here? And maybe that's what some people around you are thinking about you, collective. And I just heard that you can take that energy and alchemize it. You can alchemize whatever type of doubt, whatever type of negative energy is being directed at you or maybe coming out internally. You can alchemize that so that it actually can transform you, right? If you know anything about alchemy, everything starts in the mind. So when you have really serious like negative self-talk happening, if you just literally pause for a beat. I think last week we talked about those, taking those deep breaths. When you take time to pause and you just give gratitude for what you have accomplished so far, when you give yourself some love, when you tell yourself you're beautiful, you look beautiful today. Who cares what these naysayers have to say about you? Who are they, right? When you're able to alchemize that within the mind, that can alchemize within your energy, and that can really expand in a way that's completely beautiful, in a way that really does benefit you in the long run. I'm really getting like this higher perspective energy too, which I mean goes with this card as well. I'm really digging this card right now. I don't know. I really love it. It's like poetic in itself, right? It's like this man, it looks like this man is going on a hunt, but he's looking to the sky for guidance on which way to go, the direction in which he needs to take, and following that intuition, that guidance that the ancestors are giving, right? It goes hand in hand with this higher perspective energy, this transmutation of energy. We've been talking about transmutation, not transformation, but this transmutation of energy. What I also find interesting is that this card says stand in the light, right? And usually when we speak of light, or think of light, we think of the sun. And we tend to forget that the moon holds and gives off very profound light within the dark as well. So I think that is calling for another balance. That's calling for, I just heard too that the sun gives off shade, right? So the sun's rays create shade. I don't know where this is going, but the moon's rays create light within the dark. So it's really just this balance. And this intertwining of fire and water, this intertwining of light and dark, and understanding how you can balance those out and how you can exist within that, how you can take this higher perspective. Okay, so we got, she guards the waters of life. It's so funny. I don't know how to say that name, but it's goddess energy. There's one more. Okay. And then progress on the path. So I'm gonna read. We got more tribal energy coming into. Finding your tribe. Okay. Let me read 4. This is so funny. I love the way things line up sometimes. I really do. Okay. So it says, consider very seriously the need to cut cords to negative or unhelpful influences in your life, whether they be habits, people, or forms of entertainment and media that threaten to distort the pure and wise use of your wild spirit and ignited mind. Whilst it is important that you engage with others, the sacred creator within you requires time and space and solitude to process, reflect, contemplate, and create. Only then can you remember who you are and what is important to you, and summon the inner power to act accordingly. In that way, you will not become overly swayed by any lesser force, particularly mainstream consciousness that perpetuates victimizing thought patterns and behaviors. Amen. Give yourself a chance for spiritual, psychological, and emotional time out and cleansing so that you can recognize the inner truth of your own soul and adhere to it faithfully. That is a part of upskilling too, just so you guys know. Giving yourself time to process the information that's being given to you is a part of integrating knowledge so that you can use that knowledge to alchemize your energy, is what I just heard. Okay, and then we have medicine horse, progress on the path. It says, I am medicine horse, bringing you the message of freedom, journey, and progress. Do not act as... Okay, it says, do not act as though you are a beast of burden. Claim your innate divine dignity. Allow yourself to feel and be graceful. Recognize and honor your needs for rest, openness, safety, and respect. An ability to hear, know, and feel spiritual truth, which will guide you in every aspect of your life journey, is opening up. Connect with your spirit. Live your truth. This is amazing. This is so beautiful. This also reminds me of that... I wonder if I can find it in here because I keep on seeing it. The Authentic Self card, which I feel like I need to read. I'm just going to pull it from here because I keep seeing it. Help me find it, please. Here it is. Easy peasy. Thank you. Thank you. Okay. So we're gonna read this. It's The Authentic Self, Many Masks. I pulled this the other day, but I never read it, so I want to read it out of the book. Okay. It says, the authentic self, energizing internal allies, a conscious shift. We live in a world where everyone we see wears masks. We wear these masks to cover up and protect who we really are. We learn to do so because we've been conditioned to try to appear a certain way to fit into society. Masks allow us to belong, as we remain within the confines of what is expected. Masks are not inherently bad. Rather, they provide context and structure for our personalities and soul's expression. Some of us might believe that a particular mask, fixed and hardened onto us, is our permanent face. We forget that we are living beings with a multitude of faces, enabling us to experience a fuller, more vibrant world. Your authentic essence doesn't want to be constrained by others' expectations anymore. Now is the time to strip away the mask you've accepted and discover who you really are. A new self is emerging. I love this. A new self is emerging, and your perception changes as you adopt new ways of being. Right now, it's really important to allow yourself to experiment, to experience. Sorry, that was just really loud. Kind of like, ah. Right now, it's really important to allow yourself to experiment, to experience the world in all its myriad potentials and possibilities. Try on different masks and let yourself be fluid and curious. How will you know what you what you love, and what you resonate with. If you don't take off the mask you've always worn and test drive some new ones, your authentic essence will never change. It will only express itself differently through these optional selves. Through trial and error, you discover more and more about who you want to become. What would it feel like to explore this side of you? Anything is possible if you're willing to open up to your potential. You truly can move beyond the barriers that society has set. Use your imagination and step into the magic. I love that. That's beautiful. Is there anything else that needs to be said before I wrap this up? We're 25 minutes in. I don't want to give any more than what needs to be given. So let's see. I'm going to pull from Native Spirit and see if I have a feeling that there's one in here that will really round this out well. I hope this message is resonating with you, beautiful people. If you are looking for a personal reading, I am available. There is a link in the description box below that you can utilize. There's also a 10% discount code that you can utilize as well. My readings run about an hour, but they can vary depending on person to person, right? But I generally don't end until everything that needs to be given for that time is given. So if you do book, just prepare for like 65 minutes is what I heard. I saw 65, so prepare yourself for around 65 minutes just in case. And I always ask my people to bring a pen and paper just in case there's something that needs to be written down, or if there's, I like it when people take notes during readings because it's like they're really paying attention and really taking the time seriously and trying to learn, because you can't remember everything that's said during a reading, because sometimes there's so much information that comes through that you need time to process. So I always bring pen and paper whenever I get a reading myself and when I do readings for myself. All right, what is the final message for the collective at this time? Okay. So we have nature spirits. So yeah, this is really exciting because this is what I was talking about earlier, how and owl talks about wisdom. That was at the bottom of the deck. But nature spirits, sorry, really talks about believing in magic too, right? It talks about fairies. So believing in the magic of nature, of Mother Nature, and also believing that it's also highlighting the shifting of the seasons that are coming, right? So giving us encouragement while this springtime is upon us. So Spirit Keeper of the West, transformation, letting go of the old, initiation, illumination, harvest, gather your inner resources. If it doesn't feel right, don't go ahead, right? We were talking about energy, and oh, that was something that I had downloaded too about the need to pay attention to, we were talking about unplugging from mass consciousness, right? And the need to pay attention to how your energy feels before and after you spend time doing certain things, or before and after you're around certain people. Now, energy can shift when you do things like go to the gym. You might feel a little drained when you come home, but that's because you just were exerting yourself, right? So of course there's an energy exchange there. But also needing to pay attention to how you feel when you spend a certain amount of time with people, how you felt before you went, how you feel during that, and how you feel afterwards. Are you drained? Are you energized? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you indifferent? Are you feeling curious about a topic that maybe you guys were discussing? Like, how are you feeling after those interactions? And really time to pay attention to that. And Yeah, we'll keep it there. Trust your heart. Chaos brings positive change. We talked about chaos too. Almost all change comes out of turmoil. Don't be concerned if there's confusion in your life. It will all work out. And that goes right into the upskill card with the crossroads message, right? Don't be confused, or don't be, what did it say? Don't be concerned if there's confusion in your life. It will all work out, right? So I'm going to read nature spirits too. And then this will be it. It's a shorter reading today. I'm liking it. It says joy, delight, peaks of carefree abandon, living wildly, magically, and free, which actually goes in with horse medicine, right? Horses symbolize freedom. They symbolize grace. They symbolize purity. They symbolize strength. Be open to the wonders of the universe flooding into your life. Innocence and delight are abounding. Happiness is on its way. That's beautiful. If the nature spirits card chooses you, then welcome to a wellspring of joy and magic. Beneath the surface, mystical interventions are occurring in your life. Relax, all is well. I love that. That was twice that we heard that, all is well. And then, of course, owl medicine. That's funny. Owl medicine is at the bottom, which symbolizes freedom. Or not freedom, sorry. It symbolizes wisdom. It also, owls are the eagles of the night, right? So they live by the moon. And then we have spirit of fire underneath that. And spirit of water. Look at that. Look at this, man. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. These two were just connected together. Right here. You can't make it up. I love it. All right, collective. I'm going to go ahead and end this reading here. There's been a lot of synchronicities just happening within this reading alone, and I'm very happy about it. If you guys need me, you can email me info@ascendinglifestyle.com. Again, you want to book a personal reading, the link is in the description box below. Yeah. All right, you guys. Love.